Alright, so we just finished playing Street Fighter for a couple of more hours today. It's been out for about 2 days officially. However, I did pay a little bit of the extra to get that early access plus the season pass bundle. So essentially I've been playing this game for about a week straight. And this is my review. I have to say, with everything that is in the launch of the game, I am pretty freaking happy with what I've seen. Now, this has been a very, very highly anticipated Street Fighter. The last one came out in 2016, but then there's been tons of additions, a lot of added on characters. I did buy it then, but then they did that thing where Street Fighter does, I would say Capcom in general, where with this particular series they go, oh, Street Fighter, and then okay, you got to pay another $50 for Turbo Edition, and then okay, maybe in a year later for the extra add-on edition, and then I just stopped buying after the first one. It was garbage after the first launch that I did not even think about giving them any extra money. If you want an example, they had no arcade mode, no story mode in the freaking Street Fighter V. How can that be? However, this one, how does it stack up? Well, I would say it is one of the best Street Fighter games ever to launch, and my favorite Street Fighter is Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2 in general, just 2 Turbo. And then I think I played a lot of the PS2 version. I know the PS2 Street Fighter EX or something like that. It was a good game, and then a little bit of 4 and 5, but 6 is so good. So just a quick summary: it goes above and beyond what you would expect for a fighting game. It does the FGC community really well and is so good, not only for veterans, people who have tons and tons of experience and legacy skills, but even new players with amazing, welcoming environment, lots of newbie control schemes, etc. So let's jump on into it. It starts with the World Tour mode. This is essentially one of the 3 different modes. This is the single player mode where you make your own avatar, and it's not just for looks. Your character, once they put on different clothes, you get different stats. Like a hat might give you some defense, some shoes, better kicking power, etc. But even further than that, when you're creating your character, if you give them longer limbs, they have a longer reach for fighting, which is very cool that they did that. But essentially this mode, it throws you into the world of Street Fighter. Bison's been taken out, but everyone still likes fighting. You play as this new character who has joined Luke's gym, who is, I think they're trying to push him to be like the poster boy instead of Ryu. He's on like the main freaking poster and the box art. I think it's because he might encompass a lot of what Capcom thinks that maybe Americans like the most, which is like, oh, it's a UFC MMA guy, right? He's like a soldier too. So they're really trying to branch out and really appeal to everyone, not just Japanese market, but this game, the music, the graphic style, everything, it's all like streets, it's all welcoming, it's pretty encompassing. So you jump in, you play as Luke's little protege, he teaches you the ropes, and then you go in. Now, the game here, it doesn't play like a regular Street Fighter at the beginning. I would kind of say it plays like a Yakuza Light, where you're running around different maps and randomly punching people to start fights. And if you have like HP, you have your sort of drive gauge bar. If you take damage in between battles, you retain that damage, so you have to run around and grab food and level up your character, get money to buy new clothes, as mentioned. And after you finish up Luke's little story thing, you go to other areas. The next one you're going to meet is Chun-Li, and then you end up learning their skills. Now, I say it plays like a Yakuza Light, not just because of that, but the RPG aspect. You start off with really basic controls. You have all your normals, your basic throws. But, for example, once you learn Chun-Li, she becomes your master, you don't know lightning kicks or Hishosho, or whatever it's called. Hishosho. You have to level them up as a master, and then you learn the skills, and then you equip the different skills. So that's World Tour. It's very good single player. It's a decent story, but the whole game, all the NPCs, from level 1 to level 99, running around, they're all made from this really, really nice character creator. If you go online, you're going to see a ton of people with the most gross ass avatars you've ever seen in your life. And, good on them. They can do whatever they want. Okay, so that is World Tour. Very, very good for beginners because it teaches you the ropes without the pressure of playing online. Not even if you're playing online ranked or casual, it's still a lot of pressure. For new players, it slowly teaches you, okay, here's all your normals. This is the different NPCs, and it'll slowly get harder. You're going to be, you don't even know Impact Drive yet or anything like Drive Impact until you get a little further in the game. So very, very good world tour. The next mode is the Fighting Ground. This is primarily the classic sort of fighting game mode you would see in a lot of games where you would expect, where you have the arcade, extreme battles, the training mode, the replays, the combo trials. The arcade mode you could play in 3, 5, or 7 stages, easy, normal, hard with each character. You like learn a little bit of what they've been up to since Street Fighter V. It's not a lot of story, but you get like panels and text, and then you unlock some art. In the extreme battles, they made it so it's kind of like a little party mode where you have different sort of scenarios that you set up that you try to, one up the other character. Like, oh, who gets the most knockdowns? Who can not get hit by some running bulls coming in? So that's like a little fun little extra thing. But I want to talk about the training mode, which is very, very crazy in depth, like insane, the most ever. So you have everything. Where you can, control the dummy, block out their first attack. You can set their recordings. You can turn on frame data, which is highly informational. So you can see your startup time, your lag time, your advantage, disadvantage on hits. So it's very useful for when you're just having fun trying to figure out a character. You got combo trials, which teaches you the ropes, like, just basic strings, beginner, intermediate, advanced. And then you also have like a mode where it shows how does this character work, and you go through like different sorts of like a lesson guide, like, oh, this is how Chun-Li works, this move, this is what she's good at, blah 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 blah. So Fighting Ground has a lot of stuff. The last thing I want to talk about is the Battle Hub, where essentially you're playing online. You use your character's avatar to run around different servers, and these servers are just one gigantic room. I don't know, they might do something later on, but these rooms have different cabinets, and it's just like, how you would expect IRL. You run around to different cabinets, you sit down, you train for a little bit, and another character with their avatar can sit down to the other side, and then you can also have a fight, 2 out of 3, etc. And then they leave and go to other cabinets. There's avatar battles where if you just go into the middle, you can fight with your World Tour character instead of one of the regular players. They have gigantic screens going on, and they have every once in a while rotating arcade games. So there's like Street Fighter Puzzle Fighter. There's Streets of Rage that you can play and get some high score stuff. So there is a lot of things that they have in this game, and I didn't even mention stuff like lobbies, tournaments, and all that good stuff. But now that I gave you a little bit of an overview of the game, what are the potential negatives? What can really hurt this game short-term and long-term? Well, first of all, there's a decent amount of characters, but a lot of people's favorites aren't even in here. Where's Akuma? Where's Laura, Charlie, etc.? In the first year's Battle Pass, they're going to be releasing 4 characters in 1 year. That might be a little slow, but if you follow fighting games, that's kind of par. But I don't know. If they don't come out with more content fast, I think a lot of people who picked this game up because they heard it was so good, because they heard it was one of the best fighting games, Street Fighter games ever, they might just move on because there's a lot of new games coming out like Mortal Kombat 1 and Tekken 8. So if they have a very, very slow pass, who knows? But as long as they keep coming out with more rewards, and I guess that's a positive or negative depending on how you see it, but you do get daily rewards in the form of drive tickets. Now these tickets are used for customization for like characters, buy new clothes, hats, etc., just to look cool and also give you stats for playing in the single player mode. And another potential bad is I don't know if there's going to be any other microtransactions that they will try to add later. Right now, there are costumes you can get in the game for every character. There's colors, classic costumes that you can buy straight out, or you can grind a little bit in the World Tour mode. And really quick, another really fun thing about the World Tour mode is when you get your mask like Chun-Li or Ryu, you level up, you talk to them, you can give them gifts, and then they text you. And sometimes it's very funny dialogue. Like Ryu does not know how to use a phone, etc. And like Chun-Li is like really nice. She sends like emotes of herself. Okay, so besides the potential bads, what are the really, really, really good things about this game? As mentioned, this is very, very noob friendly. They have the World Tour mode to teach you all the stuff, the training, and it's really, really, I think, well done in terms of like ranking you and putting you into sort of brackets with other people once you start hitting competitive mode. But the fact that they added, because you have your basic normals, command normals, specials, everything Street Fighter has, but instead of like a V trigger or something like in the last game, in this one they have something called the drive gauge. This is very good because it can be used at a beginner level and at advanced level. You basically press a single button if you're playing a controller, or two buttons, and then you attack with a fierce unblockable. And if they get hit by it, you get a free punish. If they're up against the wall, you get a free punish. If they block it, you're on plus at least. At least, you know, it's kind of neutral. But if you activate it, you have a pretty long startup. So the enemy can also activate it and then counter it as well. It feels good to land it. It feels really good to counter it. And it's one way that you just don't have to manage your super bar. Your EX bar and your drive gauge is the same thing. There's a lot more things into it, like, you know, getting stunned from it, drive, rushing, but that's a little more complicated. But the new mechanics that they added, I think, is really, really fun for all levels. And also, once again, amazing tools for vets. You have the good replay system. You have the open lobbies. You can just practice the training mode. It's very, very, very easy to online play your game, right back in training, and then go back online again. The netcode is extremely good. I've played against people I'm playing on Steam, and I'm playing with a Xbox One control. I did try playing with a little bit of my arcade stick, but I don't know, I'm just not good with it, so I'm playing with the Xbox controller. I was looking up hitbox, and I was thinking of trying it out, though it's banned. Like, I know hitbox is banned in some tournaments. I say banned, right? I think people can still show up in there. And obviously you can't police them online, pretty much. But I was looking at it. It's like $500 if you want like a legit one. So maybe we'll hold off on that. But I think I'm totally fine with my controller. But yeah, you can play cross-platform, and you can even see before you accept a fight, whether it be casual or ranked. You can see, hey, this person's playing wired or Wi-Fi. A lot of people are memeing, and I think they're really serious when they say this, but they're all like, if you see somebody with Wi-Fi, don't accept, punish them, don't accept, no Wi-Fi, come on. However, I've accepted a lot of people just in general, and there has been about 95% amazing smooth ones. And the ones that actually did have little hiccups, it was like quick half a second stutter, and then it would stop, and then it would be smooth. So I'm having a really, really nice time, you know, finding just lots of good people to play with really amazing connections. So I don't know what they did with the netcode, but it really, really nice. Just to give you an example, playing people from Japan, from Brazil, and all that stuff. I assume it is because they have their flag set to it. And the game's very addicting. The games are fast. Lots of good hit stun. The sound's good. They have commentators if you want that. Fast loading. And I think this is the highest ever Street Fighter has ever been played in such a long time. Just to give you an example, 70,000 players of all time throughout the week, and that's just on Steam. Who knows how many people playing on PlayStation? And I think, like, the fighting game community, more people do play on PlayStation, so the amount of people who are playing is really good. I think if you are even thinking about getting into the FGC community, playing Street Fighter, this is the perfect time to jump in right now, because the higher the amount of people here, the wider the skill level that you can play with. So many noobs are jumping in because they give you classic controls, modern controls, dynamic controls. I guess I'd even mention that classic is basically, you know, you input everything, quarter circle forward, charge back forward, etc. If you use modern, you have your normals, but then a lot of your buttons are kind of mapped in hotkeys. So for example, instead of quarter circle forward, punch, Hadouken, you can press one button, doof, and then Hadouken comes out. And that's pretty much for people who are new to fighting games and they just want to get in and have some fun and be competitive with people who know how to play the game. But there is a caveat: you are limited to some of your moves, some of your strings. So as you know, you are able to do damage and have some fun and get to a high level, but you are capped, you know, but you can still win, but you are limited in your overall end game damage, I guess, if you want to say. So I mean, god dang, this is the most I've been playing a fighting game in forever, and I really want to get better at it. It's a fun game. It's good. Like every day, even if I'm not streaming it and recording it, I'm still like every once in a while, like, okay, I'm gonna take a break. I'm just gonna go in training mode, practice a little bit. I'm gonna watch someone stream it. You know how many people, how many freaking new streamers I followed just because they're playing Street Fighter and they're like high level tournament players like Knuckle Doo, Sonic Fox and stuff. I'm following them now and then having fun seeing what they do with all these different characters. So Street Fighter 6 is a huge, great upgrade from 5, which was a god dang disaster at the launch. I'm sure it got better later, but no. So Street Fighter 6, crazy good. If you like Street Fighter, all 100% get it. If you want to get into the fighting game community, this is one of the best ever experiences to get into it because of all the tools and the community. This is just freaking play it. Alright, so that is a Street Fighter. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this game? Maybe I missed something you wanted to mention in particular. Come by the stream where I'm going to be playing a lot more of this, and maybe we can have some open lobbies and have some fun. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.